Man, I've never had such issues. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Enjoying the weather.
It's
Finally,
finally
we're
good, right?
yeah, I know. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
same as you. Actually, we had the last 2 days. It was actually sunny for once. I'm not sure. I was in Enschede a couple of days ago. No, not a couple of
Ah,
days, more like 2 weeks. And the weather there was okay, but in Germany it's just horrible. We had like these really, really bad like tropical rainstorms. I've never had that before.
yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, you do rain skating, right?
I do rain skating, yes, but it's not fun. It's though it depends. So it depends on where you are. If it's warm, you can do rain skating, and if you have the right wheels that are not slippery in the rain, then it's
Hmm.
nice.
Have you tried those with the groves? Is that actually working?
No, I actually haven't. Like for me, the rain wheels are actually the orangutan kegels. They,
Oh,
with my weight, they seem to be perfect in the rain, so I can pump them without slipping out.
okay,
So
that's courageous, I would say.
yeah,
I've heard from so many people that slipped during wet roads.
yeah, it really depends on the wheels. So the seismic thing, at least here the Defcon thing,
Hmm.
is really not good for in the rain. It's a really fast thing, but it's not good in the rain. But
Hmm.
the orangutan, at least the orange thing, I've been very happy with. And the Kegels, they have a sharp lip,
Hmm.
so they seem to hold the traction really well. Whereas the orangutans, they have like these rounded lips.
Hmm. I have the Kegels
So
actually here.
cool. Yeah, I can recommend them for the rain. So like I did
Hmm.
not need grooves in them, and I weighed around 63 kilograms. So
Hmm.
even pumping down the Fembahn going fast, I did not need rain grooves.
Awesome,
So
awesome. You live quite near to the Venbahn, right?
yeah, yeah, it's just 15 minutes away from me. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
I live across the border in the Netherlands, but I mean, just drive over via the highway, and then I'm there.
Nice. Yeah. You speak a little German, right?
Ich kann komplett Deutsch sprechen.
Ach, krass.
Yeah, just trying to figure out if you didn't know or if you knew and you were just talking English to me.
Now, of course, we do this in English because most of my people watching are from the US, but awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Hier Gluten kann ich nicht essen und
Oh,
vegan ist einfach alles super schwierig.
oh man. Yeah, it's
yeah,
actually.
they have different kind of Zimtschnecken, right? And they're rather large as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, now I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh
Funny.
man. Kein Gluten. I'm sorry for you.
yeah, it is how it is. You get used to it.
What's your go-to snack then?
uh, Potatoes. Oh, banana bread is really good. So we have a gluten-free places in Aachen. Isabel, it's like it's a chain.
Okay.
So in Cologne, in Düsseldorf, in Aachen, in Munich, etc., we
Hmm.
have Isabel basically, and they make gluten-free banana bread, and that's so good. So I actually brought it to the UK Ultra Skate, and I did not know how nice banana bread is while skating, but it is great. So I can recommend.
I could imagine like those short chain carbs. I see that working, but maybe the banana potassium. But I'm not sure how much of that did you eat during your ultra skate.
I mean, like if it comes to banana bread, for sure there's sugar inside, so we have shorter chained carbohydrates. But of
Hmm.
course, there's also gluten-free alternative flour inside, so you have the long
Hmm.
chains as well. So you basically get a good energy boost from eating it directly, but you also get a constant energy level from it from the longer chained carbohydrates.
Oh, I imagine. I imagine. I'm not sure how much fat is in there. Can you guess?
I think rather much. I don't know,
I
maybe 10%. I don't know. Is
I
it too
never
much?
th- I never
It's
thought about bringing banana bread to an let's say endurance event, but it sounds pretty good, and it's probably
yeah,
more delicious than anything else.
it's nice. Probably because of the fat, it's nice because it's very here moist when eating it.
Mm.
So it's very easy to swallow. So that was really nice. But I also did not know it was actually no. So normally you should try out your food before going to the ultra skate, but somehow we had this banana bread and I was hungry and I was like, okay, let's try out banana bread. And I just ate a slice of banana bread within half a lap, and I was like, okay, I need more of this. So
Hey,
then,
it
yeah,
seems
so
to be
then
working.
yeah, it is. And I started rationing the banana bread because we did not have that much. So it was like the nice thing every 4 hours or something like that to eat to get like a little reward.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds fine. No, thank you for your time, of course, at first. I really appreciated you taking some of your busy schedule.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Always, I would love to. I'm always, I have so many people still on the, let's say, on the pipeline because I think right now longboarding is like really interesting. There's so much innovation happening and so many, let's say, small players. It's just
Mhm.
really fun times right now.
Yeah, I agree. I actually told the same thing to the newspaper person that came to me.
Yeah, from the Aachener Zeit, right?
Yeah. I was like, so if you look at biking, it has been there for so many years, and
Mm,
they figured out a lot. But now with longboarding, especially with makers joining in from all around the world, and like
mm.
small makers, we're really getting more creative products out there, and it's super exciting to see that.
Yeah, yeah, it truly is. Then let me just guide you through what we're doing right here. So there's only one question I need you to have a, let's say, prepared answer for, and the rest, don't even think too much about it.
All right, yeah, sounds fair.
Perfect. And the question I want you to be prepared is, who are you and what do you do? This is something I want to have short and precise. Yeah, difficult, right?
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, probably the bullet points are I'm Lena Meringdal, so I have my name, and I'm a distance skater, and I build boards. I guess that's.
Perfect. And now change this into one fluent sentence.
Okay, so you want it right now? Okay, so
Correct. That's the one I
hi,
want.
hi, I'm Lena Meringdal. I'm a distance skater, just like you. I actually skated the world record some weeks ago on the ultra skate for 24 hours. I skated 425.5 kilometers within 24 hours, and I also built my own boards and sell them to people all around the world.
That was literally perfect. Nice. That's always and you certainly have a lot of energy. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's what you need for distance skating. You have to
For
jump
distance
around.
anything, right? And also for board building, I think it's pretty important to be endurant because I recently painted a board and Jesus, that was so. Let me at least show you it. I think I'm pretty proud of it. But of course, it's nothing compared to yours. But this is just such an annoying process. You have to wait a lot. You have to be precise. You have to do a lot of sanding. It's pretty annoying. But look at this.
Ah,
Ah,
yeah.
there we have it.
That's looking really good.
Just on the camera. I actually use yard paint for that, but I had to wait like 24 hours between coats and all this stuff, and I fucked it up like twice and had to sand down everything. It's and I breathed in so many chemicals. I would never do that stuff again. So that's something I
Yeah.
certainly want to ask you later, how your process is going around. Okay, then let me just get to the first question. No, actually to the second because you already had the first one. How and when did you start longboarding?
Ooh, I started skating with 14, I think. So 10 years ago, actually. Oh, wow. I did not know that. I should celebrate that. No, yeah, I started. I don't know why. I think I just saw some people skate outside, and I just thought, okay, yeah, why not try that out? I am bored, so let's try something else. So I went to a skate shop. I got a longboard. I had to buy it myself, so I had to save up money for that. And then I started skating. First thing I did was actually lose my balance, and the board crashed into the wall. So then I had to first stand in, and then I did not have to worry about keeping my boards nice, so I could do all kinds of shit.
So 10 years ago, and you started on a longboard, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what longboard it was?
Yeah, it was. Oh God, it was. Like some of these simple Madrid decks,
Mm-hmm.
just like a drop deck with 180 millimeters, no name,
Mm.
shocks on it, and some
Mm-hmm.
very slow wheels. But yeah, I mean, it worked. So
That's good to
and yeah,
hear.
I skated around with that a lot. So
Awesome, awesome. So this is just how you started longboarding, but what did you make, or what made you interested in actually building your own longboards?
I think So I think two things. One, money. Boards cost a lot of money, and it's just cheaper to build your own boards. I thought back then, and then I had to spend so much money for all the tools, etc. So it has actually escalated, and it was more pricey in the beginning to build boards. uh, but yeah, so that was my thought. And then the second thing is I just like to do things by hand. So and again, I'm bored. So at least I was bored back then in my school time. So I wanted to do something else, and then I figured out, yeah, why not try to build a longboard myself?
Okay. Okay. And your first board, can you describe what it was?
Oh yeah, it was like a 1 meter 30 long longboard, where which was fucking heavy. It weighed like 3 kilos. The board, I had no clue what I was doing. But I used fiberglass for reinforcement. I was very proud of that. So I could laminate the fibers, and I also there with the epoxy. I had no clue, but I figured it somehow out along the way. And then I think it looked like a fish, so I made a melon fish graphic, something like that. I don't know. So I could spray paint. That was also a lot of fun to do. But yeah, it was fucking heavy. I once let the board fall on my foot, on my toe, and I had a blue toe afterwards. That's how heavy it was.
Just
So
one
yeah, that
question.
wasn't the best board to begin with, but I just skated it around everywhere because I was very proud I made it. So it was good.
Mhm.
It was good pushing training, probably.
So you just took like fiberglass and epoxy, and in your garage just went for it.
Yeah. Of course, I made plans, so I needed like concave, and I think I made like little tails, but and I think I tried to add camber, but that like it didn't feel. I don't like camber, so it didn't feel right.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I did that. So I planned beforehand, but at the same time, I never worked with epoxy before. I never even fiberglassed something. So it was a learning while doing everything.
Did you just use protection like gloves and a mask, or just went for it?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I did not. I just look. Okay, so I am really bad at reading. I just read
Same.
and I forget about it. So I ordered epoxy and I looked at it. I was like, oh yeah, it looks fine. So, but actually afterwards, it was written on that you should wear like gloves and some reading protection. I just read over it. But yeah, I learned like I was not nice on my hands. So I actually really wear gloves. Just wear nitrile gloves when you're working with epoxy. I got like an allergic skin reaction to the epoxy after using it some time, and it stayed there for many years on my hand. I'm like, will this ever go away? It actually went away, but yeah, wear gloves. Don't do what I did.
It's always in a like re-drill wheel basis, and I remember, oh wait, there's fiberglass in there, and then it's just stinging for like 2 hours, and you're saying, well,
Oh,
fuck it.
yeah, if you sand it, it's just so itchy. Yeah. Also, it's annoying, especially with 30 degrees outside, to wear gloves and like a long sleeve. But
Hmm.
afterwards, it's really nice if you don't have the itching from it. But yeah, I
I
got that board, I think, with age 15 or something like that. And then I was hooked, so I wanted to build more boards.
Awesome, awesome. I really enjoy this so far. I love the energy in this interview. I think people will really like it. So that's good. But let me get to my next question.
Okay.
What's your current favorite setup right now?
Yeah, so currently I'm skating the Platy Pusher, so that's the board I have here.
Hmm.
It's basically, it was, or it, I have to move more in the back, something like that. Here, you can see.
Perfect.
It's, it was my prototype,
Hmm.
so for like 2 years, this is the V2 version of it.
Hmm.
There's a very thin tail
Hmm.
to give wheel clearance for the small narrow truck that is here.
Hmm.
Uh, and the cool thing about the Platy Pusher is So I've now set it up with the 80 millimeter wheels for the UK Ultra Skate because it
Hmm.
goes a lot up and down. But basically, you can see the stack of riser I have here.
Yeah.
You can just remove the riser and skate it with the same height with 100 millimeter wheels, or just use one riser for 90 millimeter wheels.
Hmm.
And it's probably the lowest hybrid, like integrated board you
Yeah.
have on the market. It's like 5 centimeters from the ground. You
Hmm.
can't go. You could go lower, but then you probably will touch the ground while pumping.
Yeah.
But it's like very short before, but it doesn't. So yeah, that's currently my favorite setup. Oh my god. Okay, so this is gonna be chaotic, but yeah, I made a lamp mount for this, and it's
Hmm.
super easy to mount a lamp to it. It took me like 3 seconds, I think, while skating, probably a little bit longer because I was a little bit tired, but just goes in like this, and then you have a lamp on it.
Awesome.
So that was perfect for while skating at the UK Ultra Skate because you don't have to stop. You just like uh,
Hmm.
you just attach it so fast, and then it's on. And
Cool.
yeah, oh my god. So okay, right now I have a middle finger here, and I was light inside. So that was funny as well to skate with that. But basically, so what you have here are, I hope you can see, two screws, two
Yeah.
bolts, and they're separate from the mounting of the trucks. So
Okay.
what is great about it? Oh, I wish I had the butt flaps here. But what is great about it is that you can mount a lot of things to this. So you could also make a camera mount, something to film with the GoPro.
Hmm.
But what I use this for especially is mud flaps. So I just use a bike tool, take off these two bolts. While
Hmm.
skating, you can do that. Then you apply the mud flap, and then you just tighten the bolt again. So that was my plan B at the UK Ultra. If it was going to rain heavy,
Uh-huh.
then I would have done that. And yeah, the same counts for the front, two bolts. And
Cool.
I think I will adjust the distance from the bolts a little bit for the final version,
Hmm.
because this is almost the distance of the on the bike where you put the bottle in, the bidon holder. It's in Dutch. It's like the thing that holds the bottle. Basically, I want to make it this distance because there are a lot of things that can be mounted there.
Hmm.
Not only bottles, so you have a lot of room to attach things on the platy pusher. Uh,
Cool.
because the platy pusher is super universal, so you have multiple wheelbase options. And actually, I cut off a little bit of the tail, but I could also make the tail a little bit longer for
Hmm.
customers if they prefer a longer wheelbase. You could set it up short for in a city to have like a narrow turning radius, or on a very turny place where you're skating. So it could also be like for the Misfits marathon.
Hmm.
But you can also set it up a little bit longer for pumping, so you have a higher pumping speed.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, and yeah, then the front MK space truck, of course, I love
Obviously.
it. It's still the yeah. I don't have to buy any new trucks anymore, but I also don't use any new trucks. I just use the same truck for all my events, and I don't have to worry about the pivot wearing down. Normally, I had like a race truck with a new fresh pivot and a truck for training. But now I can just use one truck
Hmm.
without the issues of my truck is steering not as easy anymore because the pivot has worn down.
Hmm.
So yeah, and it also still has the first kingpin on, which is cool. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's the bloody pusher, and that's currently my favorite board. But the thing is, so I get used to one board for 1 year basically, and then I need something else. Then I get bored. So I don't know what it's gonna be next year. Last year my favorite board was the Bloody Pusher V1. Before that year it was the Banana. So probably something else gets developed, or I will switch back to the Banana or something like that. But yeah, for now it's a Bloody Pusher, but it changes every year.
Awesome. Awesome. How do you actually manage? This board is quite long and the cutouts are, let's say, the tails are very, very slim. How do you manage to get them stable that they don't break?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the trick, right? To make this durable. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit a secret.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it has a special construction. Also using carbon fiber in a specific way. But it's a special construction that also prevents D-lams in the drop area. You don't want the material to pull apart. So yeah, no D-lams so far. Also not in the front. So yeah, I'm very happy
Fascinating.
with it.
I can imagine. I can imagine. That's actually awesome. And I mean, the performance of the board, it's, well, let's say it speaks for itself, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure, I'm also trained. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this board because it's low. So of course, it's easy to push, and you
Mm-hmm.
can push on so many boards. But pumping is always the thing that's rather difficult. So some boards allow for too much of torsion. So a lot of energy is lost in the deck itself, so you can't pump it efficiently. And usually with boards that are very low, it's less efficient to pump. So you want like it's a little bit higher to have more leverage. But that's a surprising thing about the Platy pusher. It pumps actually really well for the height. So I myself, I'm really surprised by this.
Cool. Is
Yeah,
there a lot of wedging inbuilt?
I think, oh God, it's a long time ago that I developed it. I think the front had 12 degrees, and the rear is just a 0 degree tail, and it also uses distance spacers like the front truck for higher rebound. So probably that's also the rear truck also plays a role there. You can see this cool concave shape here as well. So you can imagine with this, the bushing has a heavier bushing seat on the sides than here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it usually has to go. So with this, the sideways flop gets prevented, like you have on other trucks or tails that has the same concept of turning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you develop that also yourself?
Yeah. I did that as well. That was actually my first CNC project. It was
No.
end 2022, I think. I did that. So yeah, that
Awesome.
was
Awesome.
yeah, and then it escalated in the front truck.
So only wheels are missing and we have the complete MK board, right?
Oh yeah, the wheels and maybe bearings, but like I think bearings, like almost all of the bearings come out of the same manufacturer or factory. I have no clue how it is. They just use different oil. But yeah, probably wheels is the big thing. But I'm not interested that much in making wheels, at least not right now, because urethane is just so disgusting to work with. It's
You done
it's
rails
really
with it,
unhealthy.
or
Hmm?
you did like urethane rails ones, or why do you think?
Oh yeah, I work with urethane, and it took me a very. So I do urethane rails. So the sport also has urethane rails,
Ah, okay.
and the Procyon, like almost all boards have urethane rails, it took me a very long time to find a urethane with the right properties, but also urethane that's okay to work with health-wise. So of course I'm using a mask for it and gloves. But there are just some urethanes. I have no clue. I had one that was a lot recommended, and there was quicksilver inside. I was like, what is that doing there? I don't want to work with that. So it depends on what you get. So, but many urethanes are really not nice to work with.
Yeah.
But this one actually has like if it's dried out, it has a food approval, so you can store food on it. So I thought, okay, that's also nice for my customers. Uh, to have it like this.
Well, that was an awesome presentation. But coming, of course, you as a board builder, you can design the board that's perfectly for you. If you had to
Yeah.
decide on one non-MK board, which one would you say is your favorite non-MK board?
Ooh, it's so difficult if it comes to boards because I'm never happy. So I have these. Oh, okay. So I have no clue if they're good, but I really want to have a 313 skateboard. I don't know if you know them. It's like it's an
These full
old.
carbon ones?
Yeah, I think the carbon fiberglass foam core boards. They were. It's like they are not made anymore. 313 skateboards, but they're really cool and they look very cool. So I really want to try that. So they had like I think 4 different kinds of boards, and they did more prototyping as well with different kind of concaves. And it's nothing. It doesn't really have to do with LDP. So I probably also have not the skill to use it properly, but I am very excited about the construction, so I really want that.
Cool. No, that's a good answer.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
also something I never tried out, but GOG trucks. I'm also still excited about that. And so I've seen some of them, and they look cool. They also have. Oh God, I went to a concrete wave skate shop in Cologne. And one of the people that sell stuff there, he also obviously also skates, so he had his board there, and he was just setting up his own GOG truck, and they really minimized what was needed to make a truck. So you have like they really reduced the weight of it. So you had a spherical in the base plate, and basically normally everything around the spherical is just fixed and aluminum basically. But they just had a ring around the spherical, and you could see the bottom side of the spherical. So that's how much they reduced the weight there. And I found that pretty impressive to see. I think for pumping, if you put someone like Kenton on it, it will probably break. Uh, so I don't want to try that out myself, but it was cool to see and probably very exciting to try.
Yeah, there is one store in Berlin that has some on sale. Not on sale, but at least they sell them still.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think it is Las Rollen. It's the name.
Oh,
You can probably
yeah.
get a couple of them still there, but I think they will be pretty expensive.
Yeah. But I might contact them because it seems to be really hard to get the GOG trucks.
Yeah, they're not in production anymore, so
Yeah.
it's just apparently there's some kind of legendary German skateboard brand, but a lot of them have, well, ceased to exist in the last couple of years. It happens.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but now everybody wants all the things that are left over. So, so I have to get these before you put this online.
We'll see, we'll see. Okay, no, that was also a great answer. One more question. I actually have a couple more questions, but we'll keep getting sidetracked, which is fine. This is fun. Why does longboarding suck?
Why does longboarding suck? I don't know. Okay, it's not necessarily longboarding, but sometimes it's just the infrastructure when it comes to LDP that sucks. Like you have like the roughest kind of pavement that even with 100 millimeter wheels, it just feels shitty to skate over it, and your board is just bouncing around like, or like you end up on a big street with cars just driving past you with 100 km/h, and you're like, okay, I don't want to fuck up pushing or like roll over a stone that potentially like stops you, and then you get run over by a car or something like that. So that's for me the moments when longboarding suck. But other than self, like longboarding itself is great. It's just sometimes the infrastructure. It's like, oh, why did you do this?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So you don't want to fail pushing in the streets, but you also don't want to fail building boards. So what was your biggest fail when you built your longboard or a longboard?
Oh god, I had a lot of miserable fails in the beginning when I had no clue about construction and where the forces in boards occur. So I built. Oh yeah. So when I started LDP, I was mainly going on a top mount pumper. That's so much fun. So then I tried to build my first cork top mount pumper prototype. So I did that, and it skated amazing. It skated amazing, and after 40 kilometers, it broke. That was such a disappointment, and I had this failure occur like two times in a row, and I did not know what it was and why it happened. So I kept reinforcing the board, but in the wrong place. And then after the second failure, I realized, oh, I reinforced it in the wrong place. Actually, there are also forces that occur. And then I fixed the problem, and it skated amazing, and it worked out, and it was durable. But yeah, these are moments where the prototyping is really frustrating, especially if you skate out 40 kilometers and then you're like, fuck, I have to go back with my broken board.
Don't mind that I don't say much because right now I'm recording in a way that probably will be hard to edit out my voice if I like breathe too loud or anything. So I'm listening. I'm just trying not to talk as much, just so
No
you know.
worries. I will try to make breaks so you can breathe in the video.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I will. I will say that in the video. No, the answer. Okay, regain composure. Okay, question number 6. What piece of gear are you currently hyped about? Are you currently hyped about?
Oh God. Like to try out or that I'm using. I
Both.
don't know. Okay, so I'm sometimes a little bit slow, but I got the Megabots I think 2 months ago, and they are fucking amazing. I did not know how great they are. I did not. So I because I skate the Femmenweg, which goes up and down. I use smaller wheels because it's easier to push it uphill. You don't have to carry the weight, but it's also like rolling resistant. I have no clue. It's just easier with the 80 millimeter wheels. Um, but then I tried out the Megabots, and they actually push up very well uphill. They also have like the alphas. They have like on the contact patch. They have this little concave, which is really cool for pumping because actually the wheel flexes while you're pumping. So when you're pumping and you pushing in a weight on the heel side pump, then the wheel flexes, and it helped me to prevent wheel lift a little bit with the torsion tails. But it also increased my pumping speed. And the megawatts have the same thing. They also have this concave, and it actually pumps really well. So even though like bigger wheels are, from my perspective, not the most efficient wheels to pump on a long endurance, they pump really well. So I've been very excited about those. And I used them at the Dutch Quarter Ultra, and I don't know. I actually skated the fastest marathon time for me personally. I'm not a sprinter, and I did that on a 6 hour quarter ultra, and I continued skating. And I think like for the moving time, I had 21.5 kmh average. So and that's on the big wheels. I'm very surprised by them. So these are probably going to be my wheels for the Dutch Ultra Skate next year if it's going to happen, because on Flatland they work amazing and they're very efficient. So I've been very excited about those.
Cool, cool. Yeah, from let's talk participation about ultra longboarding. What fascinates you about ultra longboarding?
I think that it's so painful and exhausting, and that you somehow have to push through that. That's what's fascinating me about the ultra endurance. Like to just keep on pushing, even though everything in you yells, "No, don't do this," and you just keep on going. It sounds awful, but that's really what I enjoy. It's just a very big challenge. And afterwards you feel like, oh yeah, I can deal with more in my life now. I did this, it was very exhausting. So
Fucking freaks.
yeah, man, we're just crazy people on board, I guess. Or I am a crazy person on a board.
But it seems to be working out for you. But for the people that are not so crazy, what would you, let's say, what tips would you give to a beginner?
Oh, yeah, probably don't take it too serious. I'm still not taking this too serious, and it's really helping. It's just you have no pressure on yourself. You just skate for fun, and you enjoy maybe the surrounding, or you enjoy tinkering around with the boards. Try to figure out, oh, what's for me the fastest setup, or what's for me the setup that's most fun to pump or to push around. And yeah, just don't take it too seriously and try to laugh while skating.
That
Enjoy
sounds
it.
that sounds awesome. But from there, let's talk a little more business sided. How to get in contact with you and what do you offer currently?
Oh yeah, just contact me via Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, email. Is there anything else? Yeah, WhatsApp, phone. You can also call me. And yeah, tell me in what board you're interested in. Some people have like they just look through my boards that I offer, and they're like, oh yeah, I want this specific board. I can build that. But many people, they have a specific setup and they want to have a better setup and that fits them. So I offer a lot of LDP boards. I offer, for example, the Procyon in three different kinds of flex types. So obviously it's built to your weight, but also the flex characteristic can differ. So we have a carbon fiber flex, which is like it stops earlier and it gives a lighter rebound than a fiberglass flex. Fiberglass flex is more like a trampoline, so you get more rebound, you can pump faster, and the carbon fiber flex is like a little easier to pump on a long run. It takes a little less energy, but it also is not as fast. And then you have like a more comfortable flex. It's using a specific kind of Vectran fiber, which is very comfortable to skate on. So there are a lot of different kind of flex types, and depending on the way you pump, actually a specific kind of flex type fits you better. So when you contact me, giving me information about your current setup, the way you pump, do you pump with like big curves or with narrow curves? What do you usually skate, hilly or flatland? Do you have a specific goal, like skating fast a marathon time or skating efficient an ultra skate? And like, of course, what your setup is. And based on all of that, we can figure out which board will fit you. So I have skated so much setups that I can pretty much very well find out what will suit you.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, this way I usually do this with customers. Video sometimes also helps, seeing that. And yeah, oh yeah, and how much do you push? How much do you pump? So if you push more, you of course want to have a lower setup. Then if you push more and in like rougher surface areas, for example, the platy pusher would be the ideal board for it, because it's so low and you have big wheels that you can put on. So you can still push it efficiently, and it's also rather lightweight. Yeah, so yeah, that's. But yeah, we have a lot of boards, so it's figuring out what will fit you.
Cool. Cool. Do you have any final words that you want to say to the people who are watching?
Excellent question. Probably to you, keep on tinkering with your setups and keep going with the modifications. Sometimes I internally yell when I'm looking at the videos, especially when you were drilling the hole in the base plate for the double kingpins with a wood drill. Oh my god, please. By the way, actually, for drilling holes for kingpins, you don't have to use a 10 millimeter drill bit. You actually have 9.5 millimeter drill bits you can buy in the Bauhaus. It's used for making holes for tapping the threads. So there's actually a 9.5 millimeter drill bit you can just get at the Bauhaus. So I can recommend that. Oh yeah, and then to other people, I don't know, just keep on skating, try to laugh, try out banana bread on ultra skates. To all the girls, just join the competitions. We are a super friendly community. We're a big family, so it's always exciting to see more girls skating, because we are way too few, and we can actually skate fucking fast. So. So we're always happy to have you there, no matter what speed or distance you're gonna skate. Just enjoy skating with us.
Perfect. That were some really good final words. I think I can get a really, really nice interview cut on that.